Hey guys, and welcome to episode number 14 of the She Thought She Could, So She Did podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Influential, the brand, where I am one of the brand new brand ambassadors, and I am so excited to invite you to join the movement, to invite you into the circle, and to invite you to think about how each and every day you are an influence to someone. So be intentional in what you're doing and what you're giving your time to, because guess what? Whether you know it or not, someone's watching you and you are an influence in their life. So follow influential_Inc. on Instagram. Check out the greatness and just watch the moves that this brand is about to make all 2018. All right, let's just get to the show. So we're going to recap. We had Kiki from New Geechee and we had Sierra from Fancy, and they brought great nuggets. So if this is your first episode and you are just tuning in, stay tuned in. Don't stop in the mid episode, but make sure you go back and listen. When I tell you life is a journey, not a destination, I mean it. But the way Kiki talks about her journey and just embracing having to move and leaving a job that did not serve her, and ending up on the West Coast or the Midwest, however you kind of geographically locate Arizona, and just awesomeness. And then Miss Sierra with the Fancy brand and the Fancy movement, and cheers to him. Her brand spanking new book that is out there in the world for you. Find it, get it, embrace it, love it, and give a cheers to every person, whether it is him, her, or it that you have been with, and whether that was a positive impact in your life or a negative impact in your life. Just go back and evaluate it so you can cheers to it and move on to the next part of life. Whew, that's not easy, guys. Some relationships really kind of leave us lingering and leave us wanting for more and leave us asking questions. And even if those relationships are like parental, like whether you have questions about mom and dad and broken relationships, or questions that you just have that went unanswered, whatever it is, go back, think about it, heal on it, and cheers to it. Let it go, move on, and live your best fancy life. So over the last few weeks, I have been doing this thing called batch working. And the way batch working works is I try to kind of load up some content and load up some things so that on Thursdays and on Mondays and the things I have to do on Wednesdays or Tuesdays or whatever, like, they are done and ready to be released to the world. So let me just tell you how it hasn't really worked out for me. And, well, it's worked in some aspects, but not in all. And so every interview I had scheduled for one reason or another, whether it be something with the person, something with me, someone responding, saying they want to be engaged, but then they don't follow up, all types of things, and we don't have an interview. But guess what, guys? Guess what? I am embracing that you may not know a lot about me, and maybe going to www.tabithadjames.com is just not in your time schedule. So I had someone just say, Tabitha, kind of go through some of the questions with yourself and let your listeners have a conversation with you and get to know Tiny Tab on another level. So a little background about me. If you haven't heard it enough, or if you never heard it, here it is. I am from a very teeny tiny small town in South Carolina, Lakeview. What's up? Go Wild Gators. 700 people or less. No red lights, no McDonald's, no Walmart, none of that. Stop signs, caution light, dirt roads. Yeah, that's it. That's what it looks like. But there's beauty in that. There's strong community in that. There's some love in that. In that small town, I get to be around my mom, and I get to engage in things with my home church, and I get to be the program director for an awesome mentoring program. And so there is greatness in it. And also with traveling across the country, the hustle and bustle of being in cities and moving fast and all those things, I love my small town, and I cannot wait until I can say This is Tiny Tab reporting live from my tiny house. Y'all, it's coming. I'm speaking it into existence, and it's going to move in the atmosphere. And so, I grew up there, and I lived in Jersey for some time. I also lived in Florence, South Carolina for some time. Very engaged young child in all types of things in church and in the community and at school and all of these awesome things. But I was wearing a mask, y'all, because I was fighting demons that nobody saw. I was a ball of depression, a ball of low self-esteem, a ball of, confusion with sexual identity and confusion with, am I supposed to even be here on earth? And it was really hard just trying to be this bubbly, exciting, amazing person when I was really a ball of just a mess. And that continued on through college almost until, I don't know, I was probably about 21 or 22 when I decided I needed to liberate myself and be free. And a major thing happened. So I left my small town and I moved and I went to college, and all during college, it was a struggle. It was a struggle. And I thank God for just being God, because I was working full time. I was the president of organizations. I was the face of the multicultural program, or one of the faces of the multicultural program on my campus. I was going to dinners and going to ceremonies and being a great business student. And then I also had to work 40 hours, and I also had to check in and make sure my mom was okay back home, and try to just manage a lot of things and send things back home, and just do a whole lot to be so young. And so I started resorting to drugs and alcohol, guys. Not no hardcore drugs or anything, just nothing too serious. But I was really into just some hardcore stuff to just kind of help me be okay and help me just manage all these things. But in that, I found God for myself. I had grew up in the church, and I was very grounded in quote unquote religion and quote unquote Christianity, but in all of that foolishness, I found God and I leaned on him, and he got me through. And so I got this awesome opportunity to move to South Florida and go to graduate school. And when I tell y'all, I left South Florida with so much more than a degree. I found myself, I found freedom, I found transparency, I found personality. I just found Tabitha because I was able to be free. I did not have to mask my feelings. I did not have to mask what was going on with me. I was able to be transparent, or find out how to be transparent. And so it really wasn't until I moved or until I moved into my next location that I was actually able to be transparent, but I was able to begin the healing process in 2014 when I moved. And oh, y'all, I just want to talk about how good it was. It was good. It was good. And so for you, if you have anything that you need to heal from, it may not be as drastic as moving 10 hours away, but figure out how to find your happy place and how to find where it is you can go to heal, or what things you need to do to heal, or just figuring out how to tap into those suppressed emotions. And when I start to talk about suppressed emotions, it leads me to talk about Seasons of the Untold. That is the motivational memoir that I released in July of 2017. And you guys, I'm not going to brag on it. Go to Amazon and read the reviews. People are saying some awesome things about what reading that book did for them, what it did for their views of life, what it did for the views of their own life, as well as the lives of others, and how they view things, and how they unconsciously or subconsciously judge people, and how we have to train ourselves not to do that, because you never know what someone has gone through or what they're currently battling. And so you cannot just place, you can't go around just throwing judgment around, because you never know. And that can't always be the reason, but a lot of times people are going through stuff, and those suppressed emotions will have you acting all out of character. Okay, let's just bask in that, all out of character. And so get that. And even if you aren't able to get the book, go read the reviews and get some healings from that. Go and look at some of my Facebook live videos where I talk about some excerpts from the book, and just start your healing process. If there's something that is holding your heart heavy, just start to heal. And if you don't feel like you need to heal from anything, just start to renew your energy and to flow with the vibrations of the world, and figure out where you align yourself with you, or where you can align yourself with you. I'm telling you, it is a totally different way of thinking, living, and being. Okay? So do that. Do that. Do that. Do that. So on to the next. If I could tell my teenage self anything, I would tell her to chillax, girl. Everything is going to be okay. And I mean that from the depths of me. When I was a teenager, I was living a double and or triple life because I was wild as I don't know what. I was hanging out with a lot of older people, doing a lot of things I had no business doing on one end of the spectrum. On another end of the spectrum, I was in the church doing a whole lot. I was in the community doing a whole lot. I was in the school doing a whole lot. My grades were pretty good. I knew I was college bound and that my life would one day probably be amazing. But the wildness kind of was my medicine because having to suppress those feelings of having a sick mom that I couldn't talk about with my friends or my family, or knowing that I had just so much responsibility on my shoulders, it was really, really hard. And so those different sectors of my life were just all about crazy. And I was seeking love in all the wrong places and just feeling all types of ways crazy. So I would go back to that girl and tell her, chillax, it's gonna be okay. And yeah, live your best life because you only get to be young once. You're going to be an adult forever. Especially me with an old soul, like you're going to be an adult forever. So just enjoy, embrace the youth as much as you can. But that was really hard with a lot of responsibility. But I would not trade it for the world because it built me and made me a stronger person. And I know I went through what I went through to be able to help other people. And so I am not at all regretful about it. I have stopped asking God, why me? Because he has revealed why me so that I can help others, so I can be a survivor helping to empower. I am she, unifying greatness, one survivor at a time. And so I am so grateful for all of those things. But yeah, I tell her to chillax, girl. All right. If I could live in another decade, what would it be and why? I think I have to say I have to. So I would want to live during the era of the civil rights movement because I would love to be on the back end of things, ironing clothes, mapping out plans, figuring out what we need to do. I don't think I was built and equipped to be on the front lines, but I do think that being in the back, building strategic plans and figuring out how to help people like Martin, how to help people like Rosa, how to help some of those front face folks get to where they need to be, and how we kind of align people and share vision, share goals, and talk about how we're going to get to where we need to get to. I think that's me. In the basement of the church, at the courthouse, wherever you need me, at your house, just making things happen. Yeah, I think that's me. I think that's me. And then on the other end, I would have loved to been a teenager / young adult in the 90s. Music was popping, fashion was popping, social media and stuff hadn't surfaced. Better yet, cell phones hadn't really gotten past having a bag and being huge. And so having a beeper and a windsuit and just jamming out to some cool tunes and being awesome. I think that would have been pretty cool. I really think that would have been awesome, but it's all right. I was born in the 90s baby, and I can't deny that it's been a pretty cool decade to live in. I mean, it's not like I really have a tiny tab time machine, so I can't actually go live in another one. So it is what it is. All right. So last little question. And I'll do another one of these in a few more episodes. And so if you want to submit some questions, definitely do that, and I'll answer them genuinely, authentically, and the best I can. So head on over, submit some questions via my website or the Facebook page, and we will definitely get those ready to rock out to the world. So last question, where in the world do I see myself in 5 years? Y'all, honestly, I don't know if I have an answer. Wow, that's hard because 5 years ago, I didn't see myself in this place. And so in 5 years, I will be 31 and living my best life. I see my team being really strong and us being able to really mobilize the company and the subsidiary businesses that fall under that umbrella, and taking the thought of unifying greatness to such a higher level of across the country and globally, because it's such a crucial thing. Unifying women with resources, unifying women with empowerment, unifying women with self-esteem, unifying women just through many channels, across many channels, and living our best life, honestly. Having a systemized think tank that is always pumping. And so, yeah, that's what I see. That's where I see 5 years. I see things being very streamlined, and I think that the systems and funnels and automation processes that we are learning right now in 2018 are going to benefit us so much that in 5 years, this will be a well-oiled machine, running, working, providing jobs, providing internships, providing opportunities, mentoring young ladies in rural areas who need support all over the country, and maybe even tapping into urban cities and all types of things. I just see greatness in that aspect of life. In my personal life, I don't really know. I don't get too personal, but I hope to be settled down with the one that I love and living our best life. Living my best life is being like my saying right now. That's what I'm trying to that's what I'm trying to get to. But yeah, I see us, living, loving, and working together, and being able to just appreciate the hard work that we're both putting in right now to get to where we want to be. And so that, we are young, because 31 is still young. I'm trying to live to 108, so 31 is not even half of my life. So just being able to be young, professional, and free of debt, free of worry, free of stress. And not saying that life will be perfect and things won't go wrong, but we'll be so in line with the universe and so aligned with ourselves that when things go wrong, we know how to navigate it, and we know how to grow through those situations of pain or those situations of hardship. And as you get older and family gets older, and the death angel comes and starts to take people away, and being able to be okay and be peaceful and let God do his work. So personally, I just want to be further aligned with myself, with my relationship with God, and with my relationship with the universe. So that was professionally, and then personally, and then philanthropically, I hope to be really investing into the things that I really love, the things that really make my heart pump, and the things that fuel me to go harder so that I can give more in those areas of life. So yeah, that's where I see myself professionally, personally, and philanthropically. And those are the three main and major sectors of my life. Hopefully by then I'll be on a 4-hour work week and podcasting live from Maui or Punta Cana or Jamaica or some other island that I haven't discovered yet. By then I will have gone on my first trip to Bora Bora, the beautiful, and hopefully I'll be able to tap into some other places. I am driven by water. Water makes me flow, like it just makes me be in tune with myself, and so I am ready to be able to just be in my elements a lot more. So yeah, that's me in 5 years. So I hope that a few of those nuggets, a few of those things like resonated with you, helped you get to know me a little bit better. And definitely send in questions, because I'll do another one of these, like I said previously. And next week we will be back on track. Hopefully some interviews that are scheduled between now and then will get to get recorded and go through editing and be ready for the world. So excited. And I will be dropping my shoot with Influential Brand next week. So if you are not with me on Insta, get with me on Insta. If you need resources about being an author, about budgeting, about living a minimal lifestyle, about anything kind of along those lines, pin with me. Find me on Pinterest. On Pinterest, I am pinning all types of resources to help you with DIY and all of the stuff that I already mentioned, and then some other cool stuff. And I also have a clothing board. Like, if you know me, I'm not really that much into fashion. Like, I just like branded tees, but I have some stuff that I like up there, some stuff that I like to see other people in. So pin with me if you're pinning, Insta with me if that's your thing. I'm also on Facebook, LinkedIn, and all the other stuff. So let's get social, let's get connected, and let me be your virtual accountability partner, because when you're better, I'm better, we're better, and guess what? The world is better. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining the conversation. And now I need you to really help me out. With this free platform, I'm able to deliver content. I'm able to just have a very authentic conversation with you. But to keep this old machine moving and to keep us moving forward, I need you to rate, like, subscribe, leave feedback, talk about the podcast, like leave a review, and then screenshot, show your friends, show your colleagues, show your family, show a lady that can benefit from chatting with me and from being in my virtual world and from maybe attending a conference or getting in the mastermind class or working with me one-on-one to create greatness within her own life. Share the wealth, guys. I'm telling you, if you commit to serving, giving, the universe will repay you in a way that I can't even explain. So let's get to sharing. Let's get to working together for the betterment of each of us. Have a great one, and I will see you or maybe chat with you soon.